What's happening, dude?
Hello.
How are you? I'm good, man.
I'm good. Just enjoying the beautiful day that we have today.
Fuck that weather.
It is. Oh, have you got the same over there? Because I know
Dude.
normally you have a little less than we do. You know.
Well, I'm pretty burned. You maybe can't see it now, but we will see it in the next few
in
days.
tomorrow's episode.
Well, I look like a beetroot. Yesterday was hot as well.
Today feels a bit more brutal there.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I took an hour in the middle of the day and just did a bit of base tanning.
Mm-hmm.
And then today I just was like, put me in the sunshine, please. Leave me there. Leave me there to die. So,
And that's the weather.
Yeah.
Here's Derek with the news.
Dude, I don't know what you're like, but I've got great South African skin. I mean, you can actually see it in my face right now. I go red like pretty quick, and then it fades out pretty quick, like within a day, and it starts to go brown. It's great, but you got to manage that first. It's those first couple of days. You got to get out there for a few hours. Get it. It's great. Vitamin D. I can feel it. I can feel it inside me. Huh? The vitamin D, by the way.
Well, I was going to say. I wondered what other little. I know we all got eggs for Easter, but I don't know what kind of eggs you're talking about.
Not cream eggs, hopefully.
Oh, that's an in-joke that only 3 people will get. Okay.
More than that.
More than that, really?
Yes. There's a bunch of people that send me that. Oh, fuck it. Every now and then, right? You might as well just put it on the screen now.
What am I putting on the screen?
That picture.
I forget.
The fucking cream egg picture.
Okay, anyway, you send it to me later. Yeah.
The cream egg picture.
The cream egg one. Yeah, I've forgotten what it looks like, I'll be honest.
Really?
I'll remember.
Long story short, there's this photograph on the Sun newspaper or something of some guy putting 9 cream eggs up his bum. And every now and then it resurfaces because the guy looks like me, apparently. All right? So every now and then, I'll meet someone and I'll know them, and I'll know them for I'll meet them and get to know them, and then normally it's about a 5-month period, and then they discover this photograph, and then they send it to me, and I go, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. I stuck 9 cream eggs up my bum." And it's like, fuck's sake, it's every single time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, there's this window. It's like, oh, when will they find that cream egg picture? You know, so there you go.
I just want to know when you're just going to say, you know what? Yeah,
guys, it was me. It was me.
And now I've done 15.
I've done the giant Cadbury eggs now without cracking them.
Ooh, that's impressive. How do you train for that? I mean, do you sun your gooch for that? Gooch.
Get my gooch suntanned.
Yeah.
Never done it. Never done it. Never gonna do it. I mean, I don't even know what the protocol is for popping 9 cream eggs up your bum. I mean, surely by the time you're on to number 5, the first one's melted, and then you've got all the creamy eggy bit in you. It doesn't. It definitely they don't. Surely they don't come out as 9 cream eggs. Surely they come out as
as just cream.
Well, yeah, like a soft serve of chocolate, white, and yellow yolky stuff, and maybe a bit of blood.
What do you think?
You know, why not?
But with this conversation, how many followers do you think we've lost? In the last 20 seconds.
Doesn't matter. You know?
We might have gained a few.
Hopefully. Cream egg fans. So, anyway. Yeah, hello, and how are you? Welcome back to another episode of the show, where shit's not planned, and that's why we talk about this.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
So you got a hard time yesterday from your missus?
No, not really. Well, it's all been sorted now. It's just allocation of time of doing each other's things. That's all. That's all it is. And it just requires conversation. That's all.
But a healthy conversation, you know.
Yeah, and me not making it sound as bad as it is. Making it sound worse than it is, because obviously it's not funny if you don't, over-egg the pudding.
Exactly.
Or over-egg the pudding, or your bottom with cream eggs.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard though, because you get in engulfed in your own bullshit, and then before you know it, you've just been doing something unimportant for like an eternity, and like that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'll say to Pamela, I'm just quickly gonna export this video. She's like, okay,
Yeah.
dinner will be ready in 40 minutes. Yep, cool. They are like, and then she'll have said dinner, and I haven't heard this at all. And then I come down like 2 hours later, and I'm like, oh, you've all had dinner. Well, we called you about 30 times, and you just fucking ignored us.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. It always seems to be, I have nothing that's pressing until Yasmin says dinner's in 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I've just got to export this. Just got to do this quick edit. Mm-hmm. And then she gets angry after about 6 minutes. Yeah. And it's just like, I can't help myself, you know. But there it is. That's what it is. You know, I think it's allocation of time and conversation. That's all that you need to solve it. Because at the moment, it's just...
Sounds like you've been told to say that. You're being very reasonable here.
No, it's because... I tell you what it is because... it's because I get really unreasonable, and then I think about it and go, yeah, I was a bit unreasonable, really.
Yeah, I'm like that as well.
But I'm gonna blame everyone else. But then but in reality, I know... I get angry because I know it's me. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I'm like a spoiled kid.
You project your own...
I get angry at everyone being like everyone else is being unreasonable, because I just want to do what I want to do whenever I want, and I don't want anyone to ever question it. I just want to go do this for 4 hours. You're like, what you doing all that? Like, I'll literally get up sometimes on a Sunday. Like, when I used to do a lot of physical activities, I would have got up, gone for a bike ride, like for 2 hours.
Was that when we could go outside and everything was in colour?
Yeah.
Or black and white?
Yeah.
It wasn't in 3D.
And I'd have gone away and then come back and then, like, wanted to do a bit of editing on a computer, and then wanted to tinker about in the garden, and then just want to go dick about and go like down to the beach, throw a ball, or go for a surf. I would do it all in one day, every day. When Pamela's like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
come in here and
it does make. It's when you. It does make you wonder though. Sometimes, you know, those like the super rich guys that they work all day, just do their thing, and then they have like a trophy wife, and obviously then they have people to clean the house and, you know, drive their car and all that kind of stuff. There is part of you going, I understand that, because it's like you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and no one can say anything. Yeah. But if you want to go and hang out with your trophy wife, girlfriend, whatever, they will then come along with you as and when is required. And if you need your house cleaned, it will be done and no one will question you.
Yeah.
But I can imagine after a while, I might get a bit... I don't know what happens. Is it a bit lonely because you're not actually sharing anything with anyone?
It's fun it's fun while the going's going. That's not a saying, but it is now. Right, while things are going, it's
that's
fun.
New merch right there. Right. All the things,
all
over and out show
going quite often. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think when it's all happening and you're like in the midst of it all, it's great, but that's very short-lived. And I think that's the hard bit.
Short-term goals.
Yeah,
short-term goals.
And I think I'm really like, I get sucked into things. So I'll just be like, I'm all about this activity now. And then that's me. It's just fully indulging in this activity. Like, I've been putting off buying a stand-up paddleboard for so long. And luckily for me, Pamela is super supportive. And by supportive, I also mean very patient. So she does support me. She knows that I have an attention span of a gnat. And she's always like, she's like a carer.
Tolerable.
Tolerable is the word. That's exactly the word. Tolerable of my bullshit. Yeah. So she'll always be like, okay, fair. But I've tried to get now into the habit that I try to sell something or get rid of something before I start something new. I had this mate, Lee, who I used to work with for years, and he was really incredible at this. I don't know how the hell he did it, dude, but he would have he'd have gone out and bought like a bike, right? Buy a mountain bike, all the shit that he needs to ride a mountain bike, and he would just like fully commit. That's all he did for like a year. And then he'd be like, I want to learn to kite surf. He would just sell all the mountain bike gear, buy all the kite surf gear, and then just be all about... He hasn't kite surfed, but I'm just, and then just sell all of that and get loads of fishing gear and then just do that. Whereas I buy little bits of everything, so I have just enough of every activity, so that if at any point anyone's like, yo, do you want to go down to the beach and throw a frisbee? I'll get my frisbee. Do you fancy playing some cricket on a weekend? Yeah, here's my cricket bag. Anybody got
Do you fancy paddleboarding? Yeah, I've got a paddle. Let me just take the roof off the garage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to get it out. It's behind the umbrella. So I've always like hoarded stuff like that. So, and while it's great because I basically just do a little bit of everything, it's annoying because I don't always have everything I need. So I'm always like kind of bodging my way through most stuff.
Yeah.
So like cycling, I have a great bike, but all my gear has it's like sample stuff from working in the cycle industry that I've been given by brands and bits and pieces and things like that. So, and then but surfing is the only thing I've actually committed to properly and bought everything I've needed over the best because I've been doing it for so long. But it's fucking so very tolerable human being, old Pamela.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Long suffering, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah. But like this whole thing has been quite a tester and is going to be a big tester on relationships. Like how you and Yasmin finding it? Like,
I'm really glad all we've got is a cat, to be quite honest, because I see you and Pamela and the kids, and then obviously my sister's got a kid, and then our next door neighbours have got 2 kids. Actually, they've obviously got the paddling pool out. You know, I don't mind the noise of kids because kids are kids, right? They're uncontrollable, whatever. But they're paddling the paddle pool and like playing these games. You can hear, and they've obviously got a little slide that goes in there. But then something happened, and oh my god, did it escalate quickly?
Really?
It went from just 2 kids splashing each other playing in the pool to both literally going absolutely fucking mental.
Really?
And it was like, wow, it went from like kids playing to volume full.
Yeah.
And screaming and shouting and crying and I want to do this, she did that, he did, and I was like, wow. Then it was literally like that.
Yeah.
Seconds.
Yeah.
It wasn't a build-up. It was and that blew my mind because every now and then you just get reminded of kids and going, yeah, they're really cool. It's lovely. They're just playing out in the sun, and all of a sudden, just something turns, and it just goes mental.
Yeah.
And that for me is I'm glad that we don't have that, but we do have a cat, and he caught a mouse this morning, which is hilarious. And then he likes playing with them. He doesn't actually eat them, and just. But then Yasmin was doing a class, and we're doing this online training thing, and you can see him in the garden running around, just chasing this mouse, and she's just thinking, if he brings that in, this class is over. I don't know how I'll cope.
And in the end, luckily, we just class though, obviously as well.
Yeah, this is a live
people
class.
There so just trying to get their downward dog on, and they're like, that cat has killed a danger mouse.
They're trying to get the downward dog on, and there's a cat trying to get his claw in a mouse, and it's just like, it was a testing point, and she said it was really hard to do the class because all she was thinking of just expecting him just to run in, hurl the mouse, and just. But you know what? It didn't happen, so that's the way it was. And I managed to catch it, and I let it out the front of the house because the cat's not allowed out the front. So
what was the protocol for picking this mouse up? Out of interest.
Okay, so I get a Tupperware bowl.
Yeah.
And then when the cat leaves the mouse, I go whoo, like that, and then you put like the lid of the Tupperware underneath, close it, turn it back over, take it out the front. It's kind of the same protocol as it is with a spider, just a much bigger bowl.
Yeah. You don't just grab it by its tail.
No, I have a thing against rodents.
Personally, like you don't like you find them gross.
I don't like.
You don't like them, or you've got a vendetta against them because it sounds like
no.
Like Ryan have a thing against rodents. What have they ever done?
No, I don't. I find them kind of dirty.
Oh, fact.
Yeah.
But then your cat's licking its jam roll every day.
But somehow that's acceptable.
I know. I question this.
Isn't it weird, right?
It is weird.
You know, because like people, like people go on about like how clean your surfaces are and anything, but we let our cat jump up on the side and he drinks out the tap.
Yeah.
And we both know what he does in the garden and where he goes, and the fact he's playing with a mouse. Well, but for some reason, that's okay.
Well, it begs the question as well with like the whole like self-isolation thing, and yet the cat's running around there, all about the disease, and then coming straight back in.
No, they don't get it apparently.
Yeah, but can they carry it?
They've looked in. No, well, actually, I saw something the other day, and someone was going, "Oh, you might have to, isolate cats?" And I'm like, "Good fucking luck with that one."
Well, our cat was isolated for the first week and a half of this whole thing.
Really?
Because that other shit.
Oh yeah, but that was for different reasons. Yeah, but you know how fucking difficult it was to keep your cat in the house, right?
It was very hard. Plus, then
even the cone on its head.
Then you have to deal with that bullshit litter tray thing. And I often think about people who live in like we know a few people with cats in like what are they? The tower blocks.
Tower blocks. Well, Donna's one.
Well, Donna prime example. Yeah. And they have a cat, and I'm just like, it dawned on me the other day. I was like, fuck, they have that litter box. They deal with that shit, literally that shit every day. Like
we have a litter box, but we don't we just have it there in case. Yeah, because we think like sometimes he gets chased by other cats and he gets a bit freaked out, and so he hasn't used it in months, but occasionally, every now and then, he'll just use it because he doesn't want to go outside. Can't be bothered, or it's raining.
Little dick. See, we don't. Yeah. Our cat just like outside. It's
outside or on the lounge carpet.
It's a full-time job opening the door for the cat because we don't have a cat flap.
Yeah.
So it's like full-time out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You're like.
Back to the isolation thing though. They were saying that we might have to isolate the cats, and they were saying because when you touch your cat or your dog or whatever it is, then it goes somewhere else. And then if you touch the dog or the cat, you might get it. It might pass it on. It's like, how about you just don't go around touching other people's pets?
Just
like when the cat comes into the garden, just shoo it away. You know, just don't touch it. Yeah, and when you're in the park and you're doing your once a day exercise and the dog runs up to you, don't go, ooh, how's it going? And then rub its ears and everything. It's not hard.
No, or the dog.
It's like, no, I mean it's not hard not touching an animal, right?
Yeah.
It's not difficult.
Yeah, that's a sentence.
It's arguably it's easier. It's much easier to not touch an animal than it is to not touch your face. I think I got that right.
I don't even know. That sentence means so much and so little. Hey guys, it's not hard not to touch up an animal. All right.
The word "up" was never included in that sentence. Look, if you want to stick cream eggs up your bum and touch up animals, that's on your time, mate, not on the podcast time.
Talking of that, someone puts a video up on Instagram yesterday, walking around a park. I'm not going to name names. Just thought this was interesting. Puts up a video of someone like they were walking through a park, and then in the background there's just like people just sunbathing in the park, lying everywhere, sunbathing in Belfast.
Where is? Can you give us a location? Oh, it's Belfast.
In Belfast, right, yeah. Okay. And I was just watching.
What road? Was it a girl or guy?
We're not going to get into that, but
How old?
It was it was a person on Instagram video walking.
It was
through
your dad,
park,
wasn't it?
People in the back, no, people in the background sunbathing, and this person's walking through, being like, "What a glorious day it is." Came out for my exercise. Can't believe, blah blah blah. I can't believe we're in lockdown during this weather, and in the background is just people sunbathing, and I'm like, I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. Because why are they in a park sunbathing? Because maybe they live in an apartment block, right? And I get that. That's going to be really hard. And they weren't lying near other people, but then also this person's walking through the park, and I'm like, well, what's the difference between? They weren't saying anything. I was just thinking, well, what's the difference between them walking through this park and those people sunbathing?
Yeah, I think if people are like, it's so hard because there's so much of me that goes, let's just go along with this and just do what we're told. And there's this other part of me that's like, this is all a load of fucking bullshit. Yeah. Like I was saying to Yasmin's dad, I'm like, did Boris Johnson actually get coronavirus?
Yeah.
Or was it a ploy by the government to say, look, even our prime minister can get it, so stay the fuck inside?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a scare tactic.
Yeah.
And like people might go, oh, yeah, that's bullshit. And it's like, yeah, but think how many fucked up things governments have done over the years to like convince people to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a little part of me going, is this all really happening? What are these figures? Who's doing what?
Did you watch that episode of Louder Crowder?
No, I haven't. It's still on my on my Safari browser.
If you haven't heard of him, Louder Crowder, he's a bit mad, but try to ignore the heavy right wing side of it and just listen to the facts, because he goes through and he talks all about how the numbers are kind of skewed in America. It's really interesting. And it's like,
but that's the thing. It's like you say facts, and what's a fact anymore?
I'm just saying. I'm saying his facts though. But it's just it's interesting. Just because you fed one side of it, it's interesting when someone feeds you the other side of it. But it's all about what you're saying.
I'm actually quite interested in that, because that's why it's better. Like when you talk about anything like this, like say if it's like, I don't know, like the conflict in the Middle East or Russia. It's like actually go to some Russian websites or some right wing websites or the BNP or whatever it is, and just look at what the people are saying. It's like sometimes you think, well, not saying that they're right or wrong, but you kind of see that other point or the other side of the argument that you will never see from being on the left or the right. Yeah. And it works the same way the other way around, yeah? It's just, I don't think, it's really hard to get a full diagnosed opinion.
Look at it like this, right? This always blows my mind, but I would love to watch, I would love to watch, stop, rewind, sorry, that sentence again. I wonder what people in Russia think when they watch pretty much every James Bond movie. Like, if you think about every movie I watch is a westernized movie, so it's always with like England or America being the saviors and the world's the baddies, and it's like, but
you say that though,
yeah.
But what about all the films where, like in America, where it always has the bad British villain? How does that make you feel?
Well, I don't give a shit.
I don't care. I'm South African.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but funnily enough, South Africans are often brought in as the villain as well.
Yeah, blood diamond and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like it's not like one bad Russian. It's like American CIA guy versus
for sure,
literally all the Russians. And I was like, well, the Russians going, hey, what's happening? We're not like that. You know?
Yeah.
Are they just sitting? Have they got their own version?
I hope they all sound like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's. Are they sitting there with their own version of this? We're all Americans. So if you think, like, in a way, the way we are given Hollywood dialogue and movies and stuff is the same way we're fed, like, propaganda.
Oh, it is. You know what? And because when I was in Chicago, I don't know, a few years ago, they had a... It sounds weird, but just hear me out. Yasmin and I went to a Nazi propaganda exhibition at the... I think it was the Museum of Modern Art in
That's
Chicago.
only acceptable because it was at the Museum of Art. You know?
Yeah.
If that was at Nazi camp, unacceptable.
But no, the thing is that what's really interesting about it, and you'll appreciate this from being a graphic designer brand guy, is that the Nazi branding was so fucking amazing. Yeah. Which is why they were able to convince everyone. And they literally went to right, who are the most fucked people in the country? Right, poor farmers, let's go after them. You know, women that white women that feel suppressed, we'll go after them. The children, who feel they've got no future. And all their designs of all their pamphlets and everything was massively targeted towards each of these people. So that's how they ended up getting this amazing following, and no one thinking what they were doing was wrong because, well, it's going to benefit me. And look at all the people in Germany it's benefiting. So you have this completely skewed view. And the colours they were using, the fonts they use, it goes through all of it. It's
so
amazing.
Good that people now can't brand a company with red and black.
It's a tough thing to do.
Really hard to do. And I've had people do it before over the years where that's the colours they want, and I'm just like, look, with all due respect, unless you
unless you had a little bit of
red and black.
No, but it's true, and now it's still going. Yeah, like you said, it's still going on now. It's still such a powerful symbol and such a powerful whole ethos.
Yeah.
And I think I was watching it. I mean, and they were looking at it from a brand point of view. You have to kind of ignore the reality of what happened, but branding, it was fucking hell, this is like a masterclass.
Oh yeah, it was incredible
in how to do it. And once you get and that's what's interesting is can you imagine what they could do now with the power of the internet? Can you imagine that?
Instagram lives
with Hitler,
just with big red banners in the background, just half a mustache, shouting because that's normal sentences loud in German.
Because that's what's weird, right? Is that now obviously Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms have such a hard job, because if you do anything say some crazy terrorist Muslim or some crazy whatever's perceived as whatever's perceived as crazy, because if you listen to some interviews with when they've caught a terrorist, they say, we see this guy said, we see America and the West like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo see the Empire in Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what they consider themselves as. And it's so who's crazy?
Oh no, totally.
And I don't believe in killing people in at all. I just if you want to take a life of another, I just think that's wrong. Hands down, that's my personal perspective.
That's a good way to be. I think that's a fair rule. Here, don't be killing folks.
Don't be killing people, and regardless of what they believe or anything. But it's that kind of thing. And now Facebook and everything. Well, you're not allowed to have that. And you're like, well, but you're okay with like Trump and Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage putting their shit out online. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's weird, man. It's like so just by the very nature of what is deemed globally as unacceptable is then, you know, really neutralized in certain areas. And then what is free speech? And it's too complicated. You know?
Definitely
the whole
too
thing
complicated
is too complicated
for a podcast that started with popping cream eggs up your bum. And then
and see that wouldn't be allowed on the internet.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be allowed on the internet.
Yeah, welcome to the seminar. We'll do the eggs first, and then we'll talk about US propaganda.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Wow.
Slightly different note, but I mean, still on the same topic of why not, you know, Corona, staying at home, all that. Just to round up my bit real quick, Pamela and our relationship's actually been better in lockdown. We've had a lot more time for each other. I think having the kids there is like is one combined stress thing that we both have to deal with. So we've actually found it better. But quick question: we got like 3 minutes left of the show.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking I just want to throw a topic out to you here. In the situation we're in, a friend of ours put up a comment the other day questioning the importance of entertainment. All right, at a time like now, and I just think that's a really. What's your thoughts on entertainment? Because I feel like this is something I've seen a lot of people questioning, is it worth making videos? Is it worth putting photos up? Is it worth making all this stuff? And how that sits in the bigger scheme of what's actually happening.
I think it's massively important because imagine, like, okay, I saw someone put a post up the other day, it's kind of relevant. Imagine if this had happened 20 years ago. No internet, very little Sky TV, you're minimal.
Yeah.
You know, what would you have done? And I think Stephen King actually, you know, the writer, horror writer, he put up a post on Twitter the other day as well that said something like, imagine a world with no poets, musicians, artists, filmmakers, whatever. Imagine what the quarantine would be like right now.
Yeah.
And I thought, Jesus, you'd just be watching the news.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't read books, you couldn't go online and watch films. I mean, we are very lucky to be online and do podcasts and to, you know, be able to interact with your friends on Zoom or Skype or FaceTime, whatever it is. You know, I think that it's so important. Like, entertainment has never been so important.
Yeah, I think so.
Because bear in mind, sport's been taken away.
Yeah,
so,
true.
You know, that like, you know, you have that sense of, what's it called? Gang mentality. And like, you know, when you go like Arsenal versus Man U, at the end of the day, it's just football, but you need that kind of, that gang, like it's us versus them, you know? And then you can go out on Sunday, have a few beers with your mates, go, we won, we lost, whatever, or watch it on TV. And that's like your little kind of, we did that together. Yeah. And that's gone. So now, and even like watching tennis and going, come on Murray, come on Federer, whatever it is, it's like that's disappeared. Yeah. So what have you got left? It's like, well, we've got to watch Disney Plus, you know, watch the films. And I think it's great actually now. Was it Trolls you were watching the other day, right?
Watched it 4 times in 2 days.
That's the first film ever to have gone straight to, like, big Hollywood film to go straight to streaming. Yeah. And apparently Hollywood are watching very closely at the numbers on that. Yeah. And I think that we could see a massive change beyond this about how films are released in the cinema because of that. Yeah, sure. So I think it's so important, basically. Yeah. If not, we'd all go crazy. I know. And that's anything from like YouTube content all the way up to Hollywood films, you know, and everything in between.
I've just seen so many people doubting themselves whether they should be creating and what's the purpose. You know, people start to think about what comparing it to like death rates or people saving lives, and it's like, well, yeah, but the people that are staying at home that are doing their part also need some sort of mental stimulation to keep them going, and that's where entertainment plays its part.
Absolutely.
So, I think it's good. I think it's powerful. I think people should keep doing it. Keep making. And keep watching. Keep talking.
About entertainment, please come back tomorrow and enjoy some more of this. Because this is just some entertainment for us to keep our communication going and just to let you know the facts. Yeah. The facts about the world that we live in, that me and Dylan live in. It's 100% true. All of it.
That's us for today, though. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you all tomorrow.